the price pullback when it comes to Turbo as of right now, that doesn't concern me whatsoever. And 50 cents, that's still my price target for this bull run, even though that's not financial advice. But for the people out there that keep overreacting about this is the way I take a look at it. This isn't my first rodeo, as the old saying goes. And this is actually a verifiable fact, because take a look at my earlier videos on Floki. Now, when I was making videos on Floki then, keep in mind, I was over 95% down when it comes to Floki, maybe even around 98%. It was down so bad, right? I got in near the top at that point. Of course, things tanked. And as we all know, it didn't do that good at that time. I calmed myself down. I accumulated more and more. And those times I did accumulate when things were low, did around a 30x. So when I take a look at something like Floki, this isn't my first rodeo. The way I view it is that when it comes to Turbo, I think better days are ahead. And why would it not? The community is too passionate, it's too amazing, it's too massive for me to give up. It just doesn't make sense for me to quit when it comes to Turbo. Now, I haven't sold anything, but I don't plan to anytime soon because 50 cents, that's still my price target. People keep thinking that, yeah, this is too insane, this is not possible. Well, if it were to go to the price of 50 cents, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $32.5 billion. That's still over $50 billion less than Dogecoin's all-time high market cap. So when people like to say that, yeah, this is impossible, no, I disagree. And the journey to the top isn't going to be smooth sailing, keep in mind. There's going to be multiple pullbacks along the way, but I have preemptively prepared myself for this by dollar cost averaging. What do I mean by that? I was accumulating this whole time on a consistent basis, even back in early September, when a lot of people were iffy. They were like, oh man, Turbo's going to keep going down. You know what? I kept accumulating more. Then it reached an all-time high after that. I'm not saying it was a straight shot, but it felt like it somewhat. But there was multiple pullbacks too. So the way I take a look at it is that the journey to 50 cents, it's completely normal for it to have these ups and downs. There's going to be these people who panic sell, who paper hand, whatever the case may be, or take profits because Turbo has done pretty good historically speaking. But it is what it is. Take a look at Bitcoin. There was people who took profits when Bitcoin reached $1. There was people who took profits when Bitcoin reached the price of 10,000, 40,000, 50,000, 80,000, even at 100,000. So when you take a look at it, it's completely normal. Bitcoin has had multiple pullbacks from the journey from the price of $1 all the way to over 100 grand. It wasn't a straight shot up. So the way you take a look at it is that it's going to be no different here. I'm not saying that Turbo is going to be the next Bitcoin because it's not. It's never going to become the next Bitcoin. But in terms of scaling things down in the grand scheme of things, I still think that Turbo still has a ways to go. Now, people may think that, yeah, this is impossible because it doesn't have good exposure. Well, no, I disagree with that because, of course, I did even talk about when Turbo got listed on Binance and KuCoin. So when you think about these two major exchanges, it's very difficult, especially for a project with a good following, a good community, a good fan base, so to speak, to do bad if they are listed on there during a fully fledged bull run, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Take a look at Luna Classic. That thing has no future whatsoever, but because it has great exposure, it still has a fan base. There are people out there that I know that only believe in Luna Classic, which is kind of crazy to think about considering that, when you take a look at Do Kwon, allegedly he fled to Europe, allegedly he got apprehended. Who knows what's happening to him right now? I don't know. But even besides that point, even a project like that, which at one point literally was pretty much like off into the abyss, that right there still found a bottom, found a good following. Again, there's people out there that believe in that. So this is kind of crazy to think about. When people think about, oh yeah, Turbo is going to do bad. Well, I disagree. When it's listed in many major exchanges, I highly doubt it will. I think that when it comes to these maybe other meme coins that are listed in some random decentralized exchanges where the community isn't that passionate, maybe, yeah, if the price does go down, they're going to pretty much be left off into the abyss. There are some cases like that. But the way I view it is that when it comes to meme coin like this, I highly doubt that it's going to perform badly. And again, the fan base is still pretty passionate. It's still very strong. And I don't think that it's going to be gone anytime soon. When I take a look at the narrative for this bull run, people care about AI. This is what I see, right? And Turbo is a meme coin created by AI. So when people love AI and then they love meme coins, this is pretty much the perfect recipe. Now, this isn't the only meme coin out there that is having this AI aspect because there's many that are popping up. However, if you take a look at Turbo, it's pretty much the pioneer. So when I take a look at something like this, I think that the future is still very bright. I'm not in panic mode whatsoever because I'm in the crypto space any way I take a look at it, right? things could be doing like okay. You know, it could happen like back in 2022, what happened there with Terra Luna crash, whatever. I'm still in the space anyways because I believe this in the long term. I'm not giving up. The way you take a look at it is that stocks, they go down too, you know, but I don't want to get into that because it's a little bit boring. S&P 500, yeah, sure, it may not go down as badly, but, you know, that's boring. I'm not into that. I'm into these exciting things, much like meme coins. And Charles Hoskinson, a very reputable individual who's the co-founder of Ethereum and the founder of Cardano, he has high praise for the crypto space. And the reason why I assume that is because back in November of 2024, he did say that in the next 1-2 years, he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000 all the way up to $500,000. If Bitcoin reaches even his worst case price prediction, $250,000, Turbo at the price of 50 cents is going to seem a little bit bearish in my opinion at that point. Now, people may think that, yeah, it's going to take quite a while. But again, Charles Hoskinson said 1 to 2 years from November of last year. If we assume his best case scenario timeline, that could very well happen in November this year. Now, history isn't always going to repeat itself. I totally understand that. And the reason why I say that is because usually as a worst case scenario, altcoins, they peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And if we take that principle, that would mean altcoins peaking as a worst case scenario around October this year, which would kind of be in line with Charles Hoskinson's best case scenario timeline. Now, this isn't a surefire date or guarantee because, of course, I don't know the future. It's impossible. I can only speculate. But the way I view it is that this does give a good benchmark. Now, when it comes to Turbo, again, I've been through September. I've been through, at the time where the price was doing very bad, I've been through the Floki nonsense, right? I've been through a bunch of other projects that did bad and then eventually it did pretty good. So the way I view it is that when it comes to Turbo, it's no different. It's something that we see time and time again. So why would I give up? It just doesn't make any sense. It's like part of being a marathon runner is being tired at one point. Okay, it is what it is, right? But they have a long-term approach. They have this mindset that, hey, there's still a ways to go. So the way I take a look at it is that it's no different. When it comes to investing, the way I view it is that it's not a sprint because I'm not a day trader. I'm not using leverage. I'm not swing trading. Sure, some people out there, they get into some random project and then the next day he does like a 100x and they leave. That does happen in some cases, but that's not the norm. You know what I mean? So personally for me, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging. Again, anytime an income, acquiring, holding, and just waiting because I think better days are ahead. And when there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history, I don't think this sport is going to be bad. Is it going to be, good for every single project? I'm not saying that. But when it comes to Turbo, hypothetically, I don't see why not. Community is amazing. The amount of holders is fantastic. Listen, in a bunch of major exchanges, I still think there's a ways to go. And come on, it's a meme coin created by AI. It doesn't have any AI capabilities in a sense, but I still think it's very impressive. And I do believe there's brighter days ahead. So when people like to say, oh, the price is going down, why aren't you panicking? Well, why would I panic? This is not my style. I still do believe in Turbo. And again, 50 cents, that's still my price target for this board because I think this is that special. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.